I go to churches, I go to many places, and I ask people and groups, have you seen the court? Yes, I have. Do you know what goes on there? Nobody knows what goes on here.
This is Isabel, an attorney working in Tucson, Arizona. When folks are apprehended either crossing the border or afterwards without their proper paperwork, they're arrested and brought into this program called Operation Streamline. Defendants are seen at once and are told to plead guilty. Everyone from the attorneys to the private prisons where the defendants are sent are making tons of money while migrants are being criminalized.
This has become the most heinous crime in the federal criminal justice system. Over 60% of all criminal prosecutions last year by the federal government were of these immigration violations. People now come into Streamline, they meet with their lawyers for 15 minutes to half an hour in the morning, en masse. So if you've got people that are being smuggled or there's other threats or any of that, you have no right to privacy, which is a total violation guaranteed under the Constitution. So they meet with them, they come here at 1:30, and they all waive their rights en masse. They plead guilty. They answer compound questions. One judge does this entire process in 30 minutes flat. An entire criminal case for 70, 75, today 75 people all at once. And the implications are huge.
Imagine if our criminal court cases were done en masse in under 30 minutes. This isn't justice. This is madness.
Many times I've come here where people get up and say, Your Honor, I can't go back to Juarez. They're going to kill me. I can't go back to Mexico. And the judge will say, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry, but I can't deal with it here. Make sure to tell them in immigration court. So this process leaves no room except for the act of illegal entry, or you returned here and you don't have a waiver of that previous deportation. And now remember, deportations aren't what they used to be. Now most of them are expedited removals, which means they catch you within the first 14 days, within 100 miles of the border, and an officer can do an expedited removal, which for them is the beauty of a quick process, no judge, and yet it has the full effect of a formal deportation. And so we have filled the prisons. So we're filling the prison. We have a great narrative to give the American public. Well, do you think criminals should be allowed to migrate? And most Americans will say, oh no, if they come and commit crimes, we don't want them here. But if you uncover that, the crime is illegal entry and re-entry.
Politicians like Arizona Senator John McCain believe this is the way. They posture as if they're simply keeping America safe and won't acknowledge that the entire situation is more complicated. These aren't simply criminals. A lot of these folks don't become criminals until the United States declare them to be one, while creating a money-making industry off of the criminalization of brown folks.
It's really important for all of us to see all of the connections, because these processes, even though this particular process is for migrants, the entire process is for all of us, from checkpoints to the waiver and the diminishing of constitutional rights, because remember, immigrants have the same constitutional rights that you or I. So if you diminish their rights, you're diminishing our rights.
And unsurprisingly, this all comes back to money. Taxpayers are paying millions to the private prisons administration company CCA. In 2011, CCA pulled in $1.7 billion through its facilities across 20 states and the District of Columbia.
The money goes to, number one, to CCA. They get a check of $11 to $17 million a month from the U.S. Marshal. He will tell you out of his own mouth that it's an outrageous expenditure of money, $11 to $17 million a month. We closed 10 schools, just as an example, in the biggest school district here in Tucson, because we had a shortfall of $17 million, and we fired teachers and counselors and everybody. We spend in this corner in Tucson a minimum of $33 million a month, and nobody knows.
Stay tuned for more to come. This is Elon James White, and you are watching the AZ Dispatch.